Are we live? Is this thing on? I'm on the clock. I'm drafting at the 102. I'll take CMC, aka the Madden cover guy. We definitely are live, and we are joined by a spectacular mind, a spectacular content creator who is on the clock drafting at the 105. This is my good friend at Bayou Bengal. So take me through your first pick here. Justin Jefferson off the rip. I love it.
Yeah, I like Justin Jefferson, right? Even though I like to do certain things, is if you're in the first top 5 or so, if you're not going the 101 Christian McCaffrey, which I think should always be the number 101, then just gotta go wide receivers for the first 5. That's what I strongly think. I think they give you the most fantasy points. I think overall you have to go wide receiver. If you don't, you probably don't belong drafted. I'm just throwing it out there.
Well, especially in a PPR format. So I know that this is like what your second day here on Drafters.
Yep.
You are over on Underdog, and you know what? It's very rude of me. It's very rude of me. Why don't you tell people one where to find you, where to go subscribe? Because like you guys got to subscribe to this guy's content. You guys got to follow him on Twitter and everything else he does. So please let the folks know where they can find you. What do you do like in the fantasy football world? Because like I'm a best ball guy, but I want everybody to know what you're all about, my friend. So the floor is yours.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if you guys are on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, it's at Bayou Bingo FN. You can find me over there. I post anytime that I go live, anytime that I'm posting content. I normally post on there, and mostly I'm just on YouTube itself. I don't do a lot of other things. I've started to dab a little bit into Instagram a little bit, but mostly just search up the Bayou Bingo Fantasy Network. You'll be able to find me on there. I do mostly either dynasty football content, redraft content, keeper league content, or best ball content. I do a little bit of everything. Again, mostly I do a lot of stuff on Underdog. I just came over to Drafters because of you. I saw how much fun you guys were having over on Drafters. I said, you know what? Let me give it a try. I tried it yesterday for the first time, and I had a lot of fun with it. So I'm looking forward to draft number 2 and getting to not only with you, but the entire Disco Nation, drafting with all you guys and just having a bunch of fun, man. So we're pretty much just on YouTube. You can find me over there if you ever want to come hang out for sure.
Before I knew you as a friend, I knew you as a content creator that I absolutely adored and respected. You and Sleazeball, you guys are two guys who I've really clicked with this year, and you guys are absolutely just incredible minds. Speaking of Sleazeball, and you did shout out Disco Ball Nation, guys, like please go subscribe to this man's content. Like it's great stuff. It's very informative. You'll love it. All right. We got to shout out Disco Ball Nation. We got a few Disco Balls in this Drafters 2.5 million. I was kind of panicking before the draft started because it wasn't filling, but it filled, and it filled with Disco Balls. So you got yours truly at the 102, Quasi, aka the 2-time. He finished first and second in these tournaments. He said, y'all fight for third. I got first and second. All right. And apparently he was drinking a vitamin water. I don't have the triple X berry. I got the dragon fruit today, and it's way more delicious. Quasi, I'm trying my own thing, right? Because like last year was all triple X berry. Anyways, we call him the two-time. We couldn't pronounce Quasi at first. We called him queso dip. Then we learned there ain't nothing cheesy about him. So shout out to Quasi. We got our boy Bayou Bengal at the 105. Angry Elf at the 109, Mr. Art Howell, and the man himself, Mr. Sleazeball, one of my favorite human beings, at the 111. I'm actually going to be on a show tomorrow with my guy Sleazeball. We're doing a His Mind is a Weapon, which is a gangster name. His Mind is a Weapon. And Sleaze, can I tell them what it's called? Anyways, shout out to Sleazeball. Please go subscribe to his channel. Make sure you follow him on Twitter. This guy puts like 7 novels a day of just fantasy football information. And shout out to the chat. Let's catch up with the chat. We got Sleazeball. Let's go. Quasi in for the win. Of course you are. Bayou's amped. What's up, Hot Takes? Good to see you in here. We're back on the clock. All right. Well, we got a little San Fran thing going on so far. Hot Takes says, Sleazeball says, Hot Takes, what's good? What's up? Best ball guy, are you back from the Matrix? Did the Matrix cough you up? Are you back? Because I was really enjoying your stream. It sucks that you had technical difficulties, but this is definitely another guy you guys need to go subscribe to. He's an absolutely brilliant man, and I was really, really enjoying your show, my friend. I was really enjoying your show. Good stuff. Updog, Disco. This guy won second place in this tournament. This guy's the real deal O'Neill, and I'm very excited to have him on our show. Very excited to have him on our show on Friday. Updog, is this your first like public appearance? Hold on. Is this your first public appearance? Anyways, okay, it's called Grenades and Fades. Back to our guest. All right. So I was watching one of your live streams. I watch like as many live streams of yours as I possibly can because I'm a big fan, especially when you do best ball stuff.
Yes, sir.
You were exclusively on Underdog. Obviously, you made the hop on over here, right? And you were telling me something. You're saying in these Underdog tournaments, right? And this goes against everything I believe, but that's why I like having guests on here because my beliefs and your beliefs don't have to be identical. I respect you and your opinion enough to hear what you got to say because you are as smart as they come. Yeah, I know you're not one of those guys who says, "Oh, well, I like this guy because he's good at football." Like it's the NFL; everybody's good at football. But you said something about the running back early start. Could you let the Disco Ball Nation know? And sorry, I was hogging the mic the entire time there, and yeah. So can you let people know about your theory, your why you like the running back start, or am I wrong? Am I getting it all wrong right now?
No, you're definitely like it. Now I can see it's a little bit different on drafters. I understand I can't do really the running back start in drafters, but now that we have a little bit more, I do a lot of more weekly winners too over there, so it's a little bit different of a competition. But now that there's a couple seasons that we have that we can actually extrapolate and look at the top 10 winners from the last 3 seasons, we see that there's roughly about a 65 to 68% chance that your flex spot is filled by a running back. So which is actually surprising because over on Drafters is a half PPR league. But knowing that most likely the people that finished in the top 10 over the last 3 years, over a 60% chance that slot right there in the actual flex position was filled by a running back. So one of those things I like to, I'm going to draft, I like him right here. One of the things I like to do over there on draft is really go running back heavy. So I like to grab my.
You mean Underdog, right?
On Underdog, I like to get at least 1, maybe 2 wide receivers, but go ahead and get my top 3 running backs before I even start getting my third or fourth wide receiver. And I just think it's better. I like a lot more depth at the wide receiver position later on in the drafts. I think the running back position really dries up when you're talking opportunities. So I think that there's just more opportunities out there for wide receivers later on in the draft. And as we go through this draft, I could probably throw out some of the people that I like later on and why I like those guys. But I like the hardcore running backs that are going to get the opportunities and then the value at wide receiver later on in the drafts.
I respect it. I respect it a lot. Now let me ask you, because that is a very unique statistic. What's the average ADP of the flex position that was being filled in those winning lineups on Underdog? Do you know?
Yeah, I think the average, I think it came out to be like a 6th round ADP. So, hold on, look, all these. Oh wait, that was yours. I thought that was
that's mine. You're good.
I think it was somewhere around the 6th round is where you'll see and where you really want your third running back by the 6th round. So you're looking somewhere in the high 60s or so. So that's just what it came out to be. So that was good. And I didn't do any of the road work. I forgot who I was watching who's doing all those, who did all the stats behind the scenes. And I was just taking it all for myself. Let's see. Let's go. Let's rock this out. Let's go a little crazy.
Well, I like the Anthony Richardson, Michael Pittman stack. Absolutely phenomenal. If you guys have been tuning in, I'm really high on Michael Pittman this year. I was wondering, how do you feel about Pittman this year in general?
Pittman, and I like Pittman a lot. Like I think he gets has a high floor just because he gets the opportunity itself. Now I do like Adonai Mitchell, the wide receiver that coming out of Texas. I think he was one of my top wide receivers coming to the NFL draft. I think they got an absolute steal. It gives an opportunity for Josh Downs to go into the flex. Alec Pierce is more of that 4th wide receiver role. Even though with Adonai Mitchell there, I think just Pittman's going to have so many opportunities to get free. I mean, think about, Jonathan Taylor coming back from injury. There's going to be a lot of run, play action passes. They're going to have to stack the box a little bit. It's going to give a lot more one-on-one opportunities for Pittman on the outside. And hopefully he gets a lot more opportunities and give you some nice fantasy football freedom for your team. So,
well, all he was missing last year was that touchdown upside, right?
Yeah.
So I'm with you. I'm all the way there. So let's catch up with the chat real quick. And if any chats pop up to you that you wanna mention, by all means, I'm more than down. Sleazeball says, but maybe driving to Stanford tonight. Now just got meeting. It never stops. Hey man, take care of your family, take care of your wife, take care of yourself. You've had a really tough few weeks there. So I'm just grateful to have you back and on the come up, right? Best ball guy. Honestly, guys, please subscribe to this man. He's absolutely brilliant, and we need to get him some fiber internet. He said, "Big internet does not want me to succeed." Thank you, though. I got it fixed. I'll be live again tomorrow. Love the start, though. Both of your teams looking good so far. Appreciate that, brother. And then you got a guy named Tyler saying, "Evening. Here's part of the Bayou Fantasy Network. Excited to watch. I love when our families meet. It's a great time every time." And Updog says, "I've done solo streams, but yeah, basically." Well, where the hell can I find your content? Because like I looked you up everywhere. Is it the same name? Like I'm a fan of yours, bro. I'm a big fan, like a massive fan. And the fact that you're doing content and I don't know about that, I'm kind of triggered. Anyway, before we go any further, because I love picking your brain right now, we got to tell the folks what we're doing and where we're doing that and how they can do it too. So right now, guys, this is not a mock draft. This is a real money draft with real money implications. This is called the Drafters $1,000,003. It's a best ball championship tournament where $500,000 goes to first place. There's $2.5 million in total prizes. It's total points format, so most points wins. It's best ball weekly scoring from weeks 1 to 17. 12 teams draft. There's a fast and slow. It's $15 entry, 150 max. Yeah, it's pretty gnarly. It's a little bit different than what you do over at Underdog, but we'll talk about that in a sec. There's also the $2 mini. It's a $2 entry fee. You get $20,000 goes to first place, $100,000 in total prizes. Not bad for a $2 investment. It is best ball format, which in my humble opinion is the most convenient way for your draft. You have 20 rounds to fill your roster for depth. Each week, a starting lineup is composed of the following positions: 1 quarterback, 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 1 tight end, 1 flex. We're on the clock. At the end of the week, the best overall performances on your roster will be submitted into your weekly matchup. So no more leaving points on the bench, no more waiver wires, no more trades, none of that garbage. What do we say to that garbage, Mr. Bengal?
Get out of here.
Get that garbage out of here.
Get out of here.
You literally just draft and forget it unless you're winning a life-changing amount of money. So sign up today using promo code DISCO, and I will double your initial deposit up to $100. And we're doing a giveaway tonight. What's up, dog? 2 years ago, LOL Mossy knows. Gotcha. Okay, up, dog. Not much. What's up with you? What's up, dog? All right. Let's get everyone sign up. It's mad fun. Oh, it's a great time. Shout out to you, Hot Take City. We're back on the clock. You know what, man? Sometimes life just works out. I'm getting that thumbnail correlation going on right now, and I know one of our disco balls is going to snipe me on Brock Purdy. But right now, the thumbnail correlation, the San Francisco 49ers correlation, it's going damn good. It's going real darn good. We got Debo, we got CMC, we got Debo, and we got Mr. George Kittle.
That's crazy. That's
so
crazy.
Far so good. I'm happy, and we're not reaching for any of them. We're getting them all at value. Sometimes God loves me. Sometimes I think God loves me all the time. God is good.
Now I do have a question for you. So. Yes. Really curious on your take. A lot of people, I have 100% in every draft. Like I said, I've got about 50-something drafts already on Underdog and going over here. What is your take on Jahmyr Gibbs? Because I have completely faded him. Does Montgomery scare you, or are you taking some Gibbs in these drafts?
Depends. So I will take Gibbs if he drops somewhere to like the middle point of the second round as my first RB, as a hero RB. If he drops, I'm investing. I do like his ceiling more than I like Jonathan Taylor's ceiling and Saquon Barkley's ceiling. I feel like if you're comparing both of them, right, and especially when you're drafting in these best ball tournaments here where it's most points total, you definitely want the ceiling play. Obviously, the floor play is safer, but we're not playing for safe. We're going big or go home. So I like Jahmyr Gibbs in PPR format because as a ceiling play, he's absolutely spectacular.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people don't like the double stack concept, but if I do take me some Jahmyr Gibbs, I'm looking for David Montgomery because that way I'm safe with that no matter what, right?
Yeah.
Gibbs in the third at the highest. That's way too late for Gibbs. I don't think Gibbs went here. So right where Gibbs went here, pick 15, 16, 17. That's where I'd like in our builds. What's your take on Gibbs?
Well, for me, it's probably a little bit better and more for me to stomach here on Drafters. In Underdog, I mean, he's going off, I think, the 9th or 10th in ADP right now. So I have a hard time paying that much money for, and it, literally money, because this is definitely money leagues, paying that much money for a running back who, if once they get into the red zone, it's a David Montgomery show. He is the goal line back. So if Gibbs is going to score a touchdown, it's going to be probably from outside the 20 on a long type of play. And I can't score. I think he's talented as all get out. And if he was the main guy, I would be all over Gibbs. Love him as a football player. He just doesn't get enough opportunity for me. Now, I know they did say that they're going to give him more at work in the passing game and such, which is great on Drafters because of the PPR, the full PPR format, and it's only half PPR and Underdog. But I think I can probably stomach into the second round. Just first round's a little bit too rich for my blood, man.
I foresee him dropping a little bit more here. Like you'll probably see him pick 18, 19 come August, unless some catastrophic preseason injuries happen and he becomes the best RB3, 4 at 5 RB5. I'm just scared of taking RB early. And I know I took CMC, but CMC is one of those guys where it's like year in and year out. And like we said the same thing about Travis Kelce last year, which and kind of made us eat our words, but year in and year out, he's the outlier in PPR format at the running back position. You know, he's the only one who you draft in as a top 10 in ADP at the running back position for the last 3 years. That finishes as a top running back, as a top 10 running back at the end of the year. So he's one of those.
And does the Madden curse not scare you? Because he's on the Madden cover.
I know he's on the Madden cover, and like, when's the last time the Madden curse struck?
Oh Lord, I don't even know who's been on the list. I stopped playing Madden so long ago, man.
Like you said, there's a lot of money on the line here. I don't have time to worry about voodoo, any doo-doo like that. It's like it's one of those things. It's like,
yeah,
I like what I like. And CMC is one of those guys where, I would prefer not having to pick him at the 102. I'd rather take Jamar Chase at the 102. Yes, I'm Jamar Chase over CeeDee Lamb.
Who's Zeno 1978? Is he a Disco Nation guy? Because I got words for you, buddy.
I don't think so. Why? What do you do?
Zach Moss is, I'm telling you, he's locked in at 18 plus carries a game. I don't care about Chase Brown. And I was going to take him right there, and he got smacked by me. I don't like this guy. Sorry if you're in the Disco Nation. You're on my.
He's not. So you know what? Fuck you, Zeno. Fuck you,
man. Are you as high on Zach Moss as I? Well, I'll let you pick real quick, and then I want you to talk about Zach Moss.
No.
No. I love him, man.
Hey! You can love what you love, sir. At the end of the day, you can love whatever you want to love, sir. At the end of the day, I'm right and you're right.
True.
Right now, I'm wrong and you're wrong because it's all theory. It's all theory until it goes down, right? It's especially in these best ball tournaments, both here and where you do your best ball tournaments prior to this on Underdog. It's like you got to come in, you got to make your bets. Like these are the offenses I want to invest in, and these are the position groups in these offenses that I want to invest in. And I'm going to make my bet. I'm going to draft like I'm right, but I'm prepared to deal with the repercussions as if I'm wrong, right? Yep. So Zach Moss, in my opinion, like everywhere he's been, he's never been the guy. He's never been the feature guy. Like he's gotten feature guy utilization based off of scenarios playing out like that, like the Jonathan Taylor situation, Singletary not being super spectacular, even in university. Whereas like Chase Brown, when I look at him, I look at and yes, it's a very small sample size, but from the sample size we do have, the yards per touch, the explosive play aspect, the efficiency when he does have the ball in his hands, that's exciting to me, especially in best ball format. If I'm talking redraft, all day want Zach Moss. If I'm talking best ball and I'm looking for the ceiling play, Chase Brown is absolutely spectacular because everywhere he's been that guy, and he can handle that full workload. So I see Zach Moss, and it's like I don't see him when he's up. I'm looking, okay, what's the best wide receiver? How much do I have to wait to see if Chase Brown will fall to me? Because Chase Brown's somebody who I'm trying to target as much as I possibly can.
Right.
All right, let's catch up with the chat. Sleazeball Fantasy Football says, I got the Cardinal stack, so you got Kyler, Marvin Harrison, okay, and James Conner. I like it. I like that offense this year. Jerry Bagshaw says Madden curse. Yep, don't worry about it. I don't worry about it. I'm more worried about the volatility of the running back position. These guys take a lot of damage. They depreciate more than any other position. I'm more concerned about the volatility of the position and how many touches he's had in the past, right? I'm not necessarily concerned with the Madden curse. Does the Madden curse scare you at all?
Me? No, it doesn't scare me at all. A lot of people it does, though.
Yeah. Hot man, just shout out the chat. You don't have to respond in there. Just literally just.
I got you.
So Hot Take City says, Bayou, you got Zach Moss over Chase Brown?
Yep.
Bayou says yes. Willie says disco. It's funny because when we play our intro song, I always dance in the background. So my man was over here like looking at his phone, and I'm over here like dancing, getting groovy with the I Will Survive. If I'm thinking underdog like Quasi, like Chase Brown on drafters better as well, he will get the receiving work for sure. Oh man. Okay. If this guy takes Brock Purdy, shame on me, but he already has Dak Prescott and Joe Burrow. There's no way he needs Brock Purdy here, right?
No, yeah, he's not gonna go 3 quarterbacks in the last 4. There's no way.
Like he should go running back here and leave me Brock Purdy.
It's a good way to draft too, looking at your opponents.
Well, yeah, you got to read the room, right?
Yep.
And if they do it, shame on him, shame on me. Jacoby Myers, the reason why I like him is he's my 5th wide receiver, and he's probably been one of the most consistent wide receivers in football for the last 3-4 years. Very, very big fan of Jacoby Myers and what he does, and he sometimes it works out. And I think that Raiders offense is going to shock a lot of people, especially with Gardner Minshew at the helm. How do you feel about the Raiders in general? Is there anybody you're targeting, anybody you're fading this year?
My biggest target is Jacoby Myers by far. And people don't realize how high of a ceiling Jacoby had some really good games last year, and especially in best ball. Like you said, you just picked him in the last round 10. I would have picked him up in this next round. I had him queued up for my next pick if he would have made it back to me some odd reason. But I think the overall, I like Devontae Adams. I just don't. He's not what he was. I don't know if Gardner Minshew can give him that type of issues. The tight end position, Michael Mayer, he went down a little bit, but got to remember they're going to be running probably a lot of 11 personnel, a lot of double tight end sets. So I think Michael Mayer still can have some type of value, especially maybe with your last pick of the draft. If you somebody, Brock Powers is definitely the man. Let me see if I get. Oh, I might as well go ahead and just double stack this and just go at Donai Mitchell with Pittman and Richardson. But yeah, I like the offense. I don't like the running backs. I think I'm not huge on Zamir White. I think Alexander Madison's going to take a little bit too much of his workload because they want to do a split. It's not going to be 1A and a 1B type of conversation. Literally, it's going to be – I think it might be a 50-50 backfield, man.
Really?
I do. I really do. Alexander Madison, he's got some skill. I know it's got a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth from what he did with the Vikings, but I think it'll be a split backfield, man.
It's not about what he did with the Vikings. It's about what he didn't do.
You're right about that.
Which was play good football. But like if you look at that backfield situation in general last year, it was pretty awful all across the board. Ty Chandler had a couple good weeks, but good isn't going to cut it in these tournaments.
You're right.
I think they're going to need to depend on the run a little bit more with JJ McCarthy there. But back to this guy, Zamir White. I'm so high on Zamir White. I think it's a 1A 1B room where. No, I think it's so it's not a 1A 1B room. Like if you think about David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, that's 1A 1B, like where they could potentially split the carry. I'm thinking Madison's at handcuff and somebody who's going to come give him spell him off the field after he's taken 3 carries and got 5 yards several times. I'm worried about his touchdown production, but he's also very effective in the pass game. I don't think Gardner Minshew is going to air it out. I don't think he's going to throw very deep. I don't think we're going to get a lot of air yards per attempt. I think Zamir White has very sneaky upside in the receiving game, especially PPR aspect. I've started a lot of best ball drafts here on Drafters where Zamir White's the first running back I've taken off the board in round 7, 8. Yeah, round 8. Zamir White, I will continue to draft 100%. So I'm very curious as to like how that's going to play out, because I know Antonio Pierce doesn't really have any loyalty to any one particular running back now that Josh Jacobs has gone there.
Yeah,
he has loyalty to Smash Mouth football and let's run the freaking rock. So I want as much of that running back room as possible, which makes me think, now that you mentioned it, Alexander Madison's going undrafted in these tournaments, and he might be a 20th round pick. I like that you said that.
Yep, I drafted him. I think I picked him up in the 20th round of my first draft. I took Alexander Madison. I mean, now if I knew that Zeus was getting all the carries and it was exactly what you said, I would be all over Zamir White for sure. But I don't know. I just don't have confidence in Pearson doing the right thing, man. I don't.
No, I mean, it's not about him doing the right thing. It's about what style of football does he play. I think the volume is going to be there for him. I hope the volume is going to be there for him.
Yeah.
But once again, you made your bet. I made my bet. Let's see how it pans out.
Heck yeah.
Jerry Bagshaw says, I think Purdy dips a bit this year, which will affect CMC. Fair. But no doubt if he stays healthy, CMC is still number one. I'm worried about that offensive line. That offensive line is getting really old. Updog says, Zeus. Tell me, Updog, how do you feel about Zeus? Will says, "What's up, guys? Want to swing by and say hello." Hello, Will. It was fun talking to you on the show last night. I will say, 1 minute per pick is way too long. It's way too long. I have a very short attention span. 1 minute per pick is way too long. But I had a lot of fun doing that dynasty mock draft. Now I'm prepared for my dynasty startup next Sunday, and I think I did. I think I did real good. What am I going to do with my next pick here?
Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, slim pickings over here.
Yeah. Oh man, you got Darnell Mooney, man.
I saw Sleazeball Fantasy Football earlier post on, because this, as I said, this guy posts like absolute gold on his Twitter. He posted earlier that Nick Chubb was walking around. And I'm like, does this make me want to start drafting more Nick Chubb? Because I did get quite a bit of Nick Chubb. Oh, I'm looking at what Sleazeball did at the running back position those last few rounds, and he got my guy Jermaine Burton. Man, Jermaine Burton was like the best kept secret for a week. Not even a week. It was like 2 streams, and then everybody's like, "Oh, Jermaine Burton, he's him." I'm like, yeah, he is.
Man, look, Jermaine Burton, people got to watch out, right? Because right now he's the 3rd wide receiver, but we have to remember T. Higgins is on. He's on a pretty much a 1-year deal right now. If he gets any type of nick or injury, he's going to sit out. Jermaine Burton's going to be the wide receiver 2 quite a few weeks, and I think people aren't realizing that, but I think he will be.
Well, even at that point, if you look at the opportunity with a healthy Joe Burrow that Tyler Boyd had last year in that role, Tyler Boyd, 1, had a heck of a lot of opportunity and a lot of, big drops. 2, if you're looking at just the player profile for Jermaine Burton in general, he's got Spike Week freak written all over him, and he's going to get on the field more often than not because they like to run that 3 wide receiver personnel. Another team that I need to start investing more in is the Seattle Seahawks wide receivers. I was looking into it, and I didn't really do too much research into Ben Grubb until today. Their new offensive coordinator. This guy ran 3 personnel pretty much 90% of the time at the University of Washington. They got 3 spectacular wide receivers. I might even start taking some of the lone wolf, some Sam Howell, but I think DK Metcalf, JSN, Tyler Lockett, all of them at ADP currently are absolutely spectacular plays and players I can't get enough of. Sorry, this might startle you, okay?
We want some more! We want some more! We want.
Yeah, I look at the Seattle Seahawks receiving room. I want some more. I want some more. The quarterback room, want nothing to do with it. Want absolutely nothing to do with that running back room, that quarterback room. I may invest a little bit in Noah Fant should he fall to like round 19, which I see happen quite a bit. I think Noah Fant is due for a good year because I don't think it's tight end by commission anymore under this new McDonald and Grubb.
No. No, I like Noah Fant quite a bit, actually. And you can get him, like you said, it's basically free for Noah Fant and somebody who's going to get himself a nice hand share of targets, even with the plethora of wide receivers. And speaking on that, I mean, JSN, I think he's going to have everything's going to grow. And then on the flip side of that, I think people are too low on Tyler Lockett because he can still, especially in a best ball format, he can give you a big week any given week. So I love the Seattle offense, man.
Well, as I said, I don't love the offense. I love the receiving room. The receiving room, I will try to leave with. So he went off the board, pick 88, round 8, Tyler Lockett. That's a tremendous value, a value that we need to continuously get. And where did JSN go? Like, I think all of these wide receivers are being faded way too much, and they're like, okay, well, there's not enough football to spread around in a 3 wide receiver room. I beg to differ.
Zeno, you can just never mind. I digress.
JSN had 97 targets last year, and he did quite fine. And where'd DK go? He went to Quasi, the 2-time. Quasi knows something. So yeah, man, I'm very high on that receiving room. How do you feel about Kenneth Walker this year, and how do you feel about Zach Charbonnet?
When Zach Charbonnet was given the opportunity, when Walker went down with injury, he didn't do what we thought he was going to do. And then when Kenneth Walker is the man, he is the man. Now, I know Pete Carroll's not there anymore, right? We don't know how this backfield is. It going to be more of a 50-50 share or maybe like a 60-40 share? We don't know. But last year, if we go off of that, it was mainly Kenneth Walker. He was the man. And, Charbonnet was kind of an afterthought, right? If it stays that way, it is what it is. I'm not touching Charbonnet. I'm still not touching Charbonnet because Kenneth Walker, he's that dude. He's really good at football, but I don't know. When Charbonnet was given the opportunity, he just didn't wow me at all. I did not like the way that he ran, man. I don't like it at all.
Man. So something that we kind of forget about and may have contributed, because like I've been out on them for a really long time. So whenever I'm out on somebody, I need to like double down on my research and see what happened and what transpired in order for me to have that bad taste in my mouth. And if you recall, like late August last year, both Charbonnet and Walker were out. Like they were projected to be out. One wearing one with a shoulder or a wrist.
Mm-hmm.
They're both out, right? And since they were both out, people were drafting. Who was it? Dallas Turner. One like their third and fourth running back became some of the most drafted players in round 19 and 20 here on Drafters Best Ball. So if I'm thinking about it, Zach Charbonnet, we didn't really get to see what he's capable of and what he's all about, and we didn't get to see the maximum potential from Charbonnet. And like I mentioned, Walker came into the season banged up. So I'm going to the way I'm going to approach it, because I don't anticipate either one of them are going to jump in ADP. I think they're going to stay put exactly where they're going off the board, and I'm comfortable taking them currently where they're being taken off the board. I'm just going to wait to see how preseason goes for them, and as preseason's going, should both of them stay healthy, I'll get my investment then and there, so I can get some different lineups and different correlation. But currently, they both have way too many red flags in the whole injury aspect.
Right.
Let's catch up on the chat, and then my wife's like, "Yeah, 1 minute is way too long." You're fine. You're such a savage. Will says, "I agree. I think we're going to reduce it." Had a blast. I had a blast too, buddy. It was fun, and my pizza after was well earned. Updog is in on Zamir. He knows something. Hot Take City says, "I got Chubb in the 13th yesterday. I don't think we're going to see Chubb until week 10." Updog is also all in on DK Metcalf. Jerry Bagshaw says, "I'm more likely to draft Monty than Gibbs based off of ADP." Fair. I respect it. And I that's how I felt last year. Yeah. That's how I felt last year. This year, I'm definitely changing my tone. Because just seeing his ability to take anything and turn it into a splash, huge play, I don't think we've ever seen anybody like him. The way he shifts and jukes at the speed he does as well, which scares me for his ACLs and his MCLs and his PCLs and all the Ls and the LCLs.
Yep.
Um,
He tore everything.
like that is terrifying. But dude is as shifty as it comes. So I think all he's missing is a little bit more volume. And David Montgomery gets banged up frequently, right? He gets banged up frequently, and he's always anticipated to miss.
All right, bro. Zeno, I'm done with you, bro.
No, he did you a favor, man. You don't want Baker Mayfield this year.
I know, but I like to sometimes combo it up with Evans when I have it. God, man, you just.
I you know how much Mike Evans I have this year?
Let's see. I'll do this.
Yeah, make a pick. 3, 2, 1.
I got some IQ. We'll go Zay. It's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
I will. Okay, so I have a question for you. How much exposure do you think I have on Mike Evans this year?
How much exposure? Probably 5%.
Nope.
2%. I mean, the way you asked it, I'm assuming you have none. 0%, huh? Okay. I ain't mad at it.
At ADP, I'm not there. I would rather reach on a Cooper Kupp before I make that pick. I would rather take Nico Collins. I would rather take Devontae Smith, Deebo Samuel, Ayuk, Cooper Kupp, all those guys above him.
Do you have Deebo over Ayuk?
Yeah. Do I have Deebo over Ayuk?
Yeah.
Yes.
Me too.
Yes. Just the running upside. He gives you more opportunity, more volume.
Yep.
That's why I'm all in on Curtis Samuel as a wide receiver. He's all right, just like Deebo Samuel. He's all right. He'll have a few games, but the fact that they'll be touching the ball a lot more and they are spectacular with the ball, all in on it. Do I want Tyrone Tracy? I haven't been drafting much Tyrone Tracy lately. Like the first week, I got a lot of Tyrone Tracy.
I love his college film, man. He is hard to bring down, dude.
Yeah, but like that's the thing with his college film. There's just not a lot of it because he didn't really play the running back position for too long. But I agree, he was very exciting. Bad guy says bad guys got to catch the next draft. Thank God, because you're a snipe show, bro. Sleazeball says, "How are we feeling about this draft, boys? We'll check it out at the very end when it's all said and done, so we can see all the correlation." And since my man Bayou Bengals here is our guest, we will have him give you guys the grades.
Oh, I'm liking Sleazeball's draft so far, man. He's doing well.
Godwin over Evans this year. I agree, Jerry. Just based off of ADP once again. I agree 100%, Jerry. Stop to drop a like. Thank you. You're a gentleman and a scholar. Don't let the name fool you. Bad Guys is a really good guy. Y'all played Devy leagues. Have a trade question. What's the trade question? I'm very curious as to what your trade question is. So, but before we do anything, okay, we have 3 rounds pretty much to do this giveaway. Do you have a word that we should put as a hashtag for people to enter the giveaway? If you are watching on X, please hop on over onto the YouTube channel. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel so you guys can win an opportunity to win a entry to this tournament where first place gets $500,000 USD.
I mean, I think it's good luck to put Quasi in there as the name.
Hashtag Quasi.
100%.
All right. So to enter our giveaway, and I'm sure Quasi is going to be very flattered by that. That's a very nice. To enter our giveaway tonight, you got to put hashtag Quasi like this to enter the giveaway. Quasi says, "LOL." I love Quasi, man. All right. Do you play Devy leagues?
I don't even know what that is, man.
Yeah, I'll be real with you. I don't either. Trayvon Henderson and DJU. Or
how are you? Trayvon Henderson's in college. He's Ohio State running back.
Yeah, so it's one of those leagues where like you can dress both and you would get the production from them, or like you have that option where it's just college players where you can get the production, or you own these players. It's like a dynasty, but you have these players on your team before they even get drafted.
Oh,
yeah. So Trayvon Henderson and DJU or Cooper Kupp and Josh Jacobs.
Who's DJU?
Great question.
Don't know.
I'm gonna say like until you're in the NFL, you really don't have much value, right? So I understand like you're playing the long game there, but I need immediate value. Buy Bengals entered the giveaway. Jerry Bagshaw's entered the. Jerry, you got to use your free ticket, man. You got to use your free ticket. Jerry Bagshaw's entered the giveaway. Quasi's entered the giveaway. His own giveaway. Ale has entered the giveaway. Sleazeball has entered the giveaway. Hot Take City's entered the giveaway. Mossy's entered the giveaway. Bad Guys Official has entered the giveaway. Playmakers 39. Playmakers 39. Are you subscribed to the channel?
Let's see.
You got to be subscribed to the YouTube channel and enter the giveaway, brother. If you are, thank you. Bad Guys Official says, late to the party. Anyone downgrading McCaffrey because of the Madden cover? No, man. No time. Man, what's real money? There's no room for superstition. There's no room for superstition with real money. I have him on my team. So I'm getting triggered by that question. My bad. How do you feel about it?
Look, I've been telling when you have money on the line, man, you can't be superstitious with this stuff. You have to just use analysis, use everything else besides, oh, he's on a video game cover, right? You can't. I mean, I would say, matter of fact, yeah, go ahead and go toss him to me. If you're at the 101, I'm at the 102. Do not draft McCaffrey. Give him to me. I'll take him.
Playmakers enter the giveaway. Tyler's enter the giveaway for sure. See, like once again, I hate drafting running backs early because there's so much juicy value later on. But CMC is one of those running backs you do not pass up on ever. And I know one of these years it's going to bite us in the ass, but it hasn't yet. It really hasn't. All right, we're going to play it safe, folks. We're going to take Isaac Guerendo to protect our CMC asset and pick here.
There you go.
Because you guys got me anxious. Like I'm only mad because I'm stressed now. I'm doing a giveaway and you guys are out here stressing me. Arthur Howell, aka Angry Elf, has entered the giveaway with hashtag Quasi. Oh no, Jerry Bagshaw says the wrinkles on the cover will trip him. Savage. Quasi says, I'll only draft CMC first if I throw salt over my shoulder, throw my black hat out the door, tape up all my mirrors, and get rid of all ladders. Do not walk under ladders. Louisville boy. I like Guerendo. Is huge. He's fast. He's one of the fastest, if not the fastest, running back at the combine. His tape is it's fun. It's explosive. He is a very fun player to watch. I look at Esteem, who usually goes ahead of Guerendo, and I'm like, what does Esteem do that my friend Guerendo doesn't?
Dude, Guerendo, he is such an athletic freak, and I think people don't understand. Like, I don't know if he's a good running back or not, but I know he's an athlete. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Braylon Allen went off. This is another one of those guys where I hate posting his training camp picture, and I hate talking him up because he just went off the board in round 16.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane. That's insane. He was going undrafted. I missed a good old days. I missed a month ago.
Madison went off the board already.
Yep. Hot Take City has entered the giveaway by saying hashtag Quasi. You won last night, didn't you? Hot Take, you won last night. Bad Guys Official says a great CMC is solid, would feel dumb passing. You can't. He's one of those players where it's like, I understand you want to get a wide receiver and it makes sense, but like the utilization for CMC is so insanely high that you can't pass up on it. Both Theo Johnson and Daniel Bellinger are no longer free, guys. No longer free. They've jumped up one round. Man, I love when I call my shots about how things are going to develop. Like we said, Cooper Kupp is going to start going, late second round, early third. We were getting him over here, 35. He's going 25.
I like Cooper Kupp. I mean, Puka Nacua is not going to have a record-setting year again. It's not going to happen. I mean, Cooper Kupp's going to get his.
I agree with you. Why do we keep buying based off of what happened last year? It's like saying, I want to go buy a new car, but I'm going to pay 2024 price for the 2023 version. Yep. That has depreciated already. It doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm. I had to take a third quarterback there, man. I mean, Anthony Richardson really injury dependent, and I didn't. If something happens, then I just have Derek Carr, so I just took Daniel Jones at the end. Might as well just throw it out there.
I didn't need to take a third quarterback there, but I like this build. I like this team. I wasn't hurting at any position. I think we are very safe on all fronts. So we'll start by Sleazeball says the correlation is wild. If you guys haven't done it, smash that like button. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. And we'll announce the winner at the end of this right here after we put our outro. So let's look at Sleazeball. We got to see what Sleazeball did. He's hyped. Tyler says, seems he may be questioned at 1 overall, but who possibly could be argued as being the more valuable for their position. I agree. The utilization is too incredible not to take CMC at the 1. Yes, sir. I did. Can't rejoin. No, you can join whenever you want. I'm just remembering because we gave away 2 tickets last night. I'm fine if that's the case. No, sir. You have entered the giveaway. You are free to enter every giveaway that ever happens from here on out, sir. Sir, yes, sir. Okay. Let's look at Sleazeball's team. He goes with a 3-6-8-3, very safe, just like me. Did you go 3-6-8-3 as well?
What did I go? I went 3-5-10-2.
Very underdog of you. I like it.
Yes,
but it does give you a unique advantage just based off of your roster construction. Because apparently 18, I want to say, was it 20 or 25%? 25% of the lineups done last year in Drafters Best Ball drafts were 3-6-8-3. So just by roster construction, we're not giving us ourselves an advantage against the vast majority of the field. But without further ado, let's go into his build. Kyler Murray, Will Levi, Russell Wilson. Running back, he goes Josh Jacobs, James Conner, Tony Pollard. Love the running back so far. Trey Benson keeps going. I like the double stack. Stacking running backs with your quarterback is also sick. Austin Eckler, I think, needs, like, people need to put some respect on his name. And then Nick Chubb as your 6th running back, not bad. Especially if he, like, your other 5 running backs should hold down the fort should Nick Chubb show up week 13. Wide receiver, Garrett Wilson, Marvin Harris. Shit, you know what? My bad, dude.
What happened?
My bad, dude.
What happened?
I said my guest is going to be doing the grading, right?
How dare you?
I said my guest. I know. So I'm gonna talk about the lineup, right? Garrett Wilson, Marvin Harrison Jr., more correlation. Tank Dell, George Pickens, Jermaine Burton, Rashad Bateman, Demario Douglas, Greg Dortch, more correlation with Arizona. And no tight end to go with Arizona, but that's where Jelani Woods went. You got Kyle Pitts, Chigozie Mukunkwu, and Jelani Woods. All right, sir, please give us your grade. Tell me what you like about his lineup.
Yeah, he looks like he's got one of my kind of lineups, right? I mean, I like his quarterback room, right? Kyler Murray is going to give you a nice floor, especially with rushing ability. Will Levis, who knows? He's got so much firepower over there now with, Calvin Ridley and I like Chigo Okonkwo myself and D Hop and all these guys. They got Tyler Boyd over there now. I like the situation. Russell Wilson was the quarterback, was waiting to come back to me. I like his situation. A lot of people drafting Justin Fields over Russell Wilson right now, but I like Russell Wilson be the quarterback. A lot of people saying he had comparable numbers to Patrick Mahomes last season, and everybody's like, really? No, I think he's all right. He's good for fantasy. He's not amazing, but he's good for fantasy football. Running back room, I know you're probably crazy about it. I'm not as crazy about it. I strongly believe that Josh Jacobs will not be the number 1 running back for this football team by midseason.
I agree.
I think Marshawn Lloyd would take over for that. James Conner, I think he will hold on, but I do believe that he may be slipping out of the bulk of the carries to more of a splitting of the backfield himself.
James Conner is one of those guys who I believe is going to get hurt. So the fact that he protected his asset there with Trey Benson, I like.
Yep. Oh, I didn't even see that he had Trey Benson. That's great. That's what I would do as well. Austin Eckler, again, some people need to put a little respect on his name a little bit. We got to remember the offense is more of a spread type of offense, which means they're going to probably throw the ball more to the running back position, which means Brian Robinson Jr. may not have as many opportunities this year as he did last year. And they're going to put a scat back out there like Austin Eckler, and having Nick Chubb down there for just a random lottery ticket. I don't mind that whatsoever. Your wide receiver room is a boom room, right?
One second. Sorry, back before that, I need to see how you feel about Tony Pollard this year.
I don't like Tony Pollard, man. I mean, he was trash, cock-a-doodoo for the Dallas Cowboys. I think Tajay Spears is a better running back. I think Tony Pollard is built more for a bigger role than Tajay Spears, but not only are they going to be splitting touches, neither one of them is that top dog type of running back that I like to see. And there's a plethora of wide receivers and a spread open offense. I just don't think that the fantasy numbers are going to be there for Pollard, man. I don't.
Agree to disagree. Carry on. Back to the wide receivers.
No, so wide receivers, right? He's got a lot of boom wide receivers, especially in best ball. You want those top ceiling type of guys. Garrett Wilson can take the top off a defense. Marvin Harrison Jr., for if he does anything in college, we did in pros, amazing. Tank Dell, deep down receiver. George Pickens, we all know what he can do down the field. Jermaine Burton, we know what he can do down the field. Got a lot of boom wide receivers. So I really, really like his wide receiver positions. And
Mario Douglas.
I skipped him on purpose, man. Skipped him on purpose. I don't like him, okay? I don't like Javon Baker. Remember the name and put some respect on his name.
No, I don't want to.
Got to.
I'm a
Tight ends. Love it. Kyle Pitts. Look, we got to remember, what did TJ Hawkinson do with Kirk Cousins? Kyle Pitts is going to do even better than TJ Hawkinson this year. Just wait and see. Chigo Okonkwo, I think he'll have a better season. He might have some spike weeks, but I don't think he's going to be consistent enough. Jelani Woods, 6'7" tight end. Oh, man. Look, I got some man meat for this guy. This dude is going to be phenomenal. Dude, I'm telling you. telling you, man. Look, he's going to be really good. I love
Stream's
it.
over. Stream's over. Go home. No, I'm kidding. Carry on. Carry on. Sorry.
Dude, I love
is that sorry, I got to pause. Is that like something you say in the bayou? You got man meat for that guy?
I just made it up just now.
Oh, okay. Cool.
It's off the dome.
Cool. All right. Cool. Carry on.
Not often.
Let's proceed with your man meat, sir.
Yeah, I will proceed. I'll proceed. So, what do you like to do? You like to give out some letters or what? A, B, C, D? Is that how you do it?
Yeah. So, like, you could go A minus, A plus, B minus, B plus.
Okay. I think if I had to give an honest opinion, I would probably go A minus. I actually really like his team. Really like his team.
Okay. You know what I learned today?
What'd you learn?
Tank Dell was hardly on the field last year, only 60% of the time.
Yeah.
And the reason why I was out on Tank Dell last year, or this year, was because they brought in Stephon Diggs. And I'm like, okay, well, he's not going to get a lot of opportunity, especially when they go too wide and they run the rock, because they're obviously going to run the rock. Tank Dell was on the field 60% of the time last year, and he still produced outstanding, remarkable numbers. So for that, I'm back in on Tank Dell. I'm only worried about his fib, because the fib is a really, really, really big injury. But yeah, we got a question. So Rico, Zeke, or Deuce? I like Rico personally. How do you feel about that running back room? If I don't like any of them, but if I want to pick one of them, it's Rico.
The only reason why I would say Zeke is because I think he has the goal line carries. I don't like any of them. Deuce is more of playing in the slot role now, and if I had to pick, it'd be Zeke, just because he might get more touchdowns. That's it.
Yeah, I like what Sleazeball said here. None. Personally, I would take none, but if we're looking off of, a very small sample size of efficiency per touch, Rico's probably the best option there in these formats. Hot Take City says, but I've seen Deuce taking a lot of snaps. I've taken Deuce is bigger than Deuce. See what I did there?
I see that.
See it there. I am a big fella. Angry Elf. He also goes 3683. That's Art Howell, who's in here. Adrian, what's up, buddy? He says, nice stream, boys. Also, we are arguing over 3 useless players for redraft, maybe best ball. For sure. That's what we're doing.
True.
Zeke, let him eat. Oh my God. Don't tell me you're a Cowboys fan, sir. All right, so he goes 3683. I'll riddle off the name of the players, then I want your assessment. All right, unless you want to do both. You know what? You go ahead, do both, please.
Who we at right now? Angry Elf?
Angry Elf, the 109.
Okay. Quarterbacks: Lamar Jackson, Trevor Lawrence, Geno Smith. I think that's, let's see, who do you correlate? I got Zay Flowers. I like the combination, as long as you're going with Zay Flowers. Lamar Jackson's got a high floor. Seeing Trevor Lawrence, I'm kind of thinking about, could you have passed on Trevor Lawrence, knowing that you got one of the top fantasy guys, and you going high like that with the Trevor Lawrence? Don't know if I would have done that. You probably could have gotten more value at the wide receiver position, but quarterbacks are okay, obviously, because of Lamar Jackson itself. Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley, that's a combination that I have a lot in underdog. James Cook, that's a good trio of running backs right there. Ray Davis, I think he should be fine. He should get some goal line carries. Kamani Vidal, he's a little, I don't want to say that way. He's very tiny, I don't think he's going to do absolutely anything. Will Shipley's completely stuck behind Saquon Barkley. I think he's trash action himself.
Would you put Shipley ahead of Gainwell or behind Gainwell?
No, behind Gainwell. I think.
Okay, so he's still in the pick order. That's where I have him too. Okay, please carry on. Sorry for interrupting. I'm going to keep interrupting if
please do. That's what we're all here for, right? Wide receivers: Zay Flowers, Calvin Ridley, Joshua Palmer. I do like Joshua Palmer. Tyler Lockett. Again, we were talking about him earlier. Brandon Cooks. I think Brandon Cooks starts to lose his job a little bit to Jalen Tolbert. Gabe Davis, I like that position there. Michael Wilson, not very high on that guy at all. And Jawan Jennings, I do like Jawan Jennings as long as Brandon Ayuk gets traded. That'd be great because I know Jawan Jennings just got a 2-year deal himself. So wide receivers, I'm not crazy about the wide receivers, right? You got Zay Flowers, which is the alpha dog, Calvin Ridley in a crowded wide receiving core, Joshua Palmer, crowded wide receiver core. Brandon Cooks, he's just a forgotten man at this point. Gabe Davis, crowded wide receiver. So a lot of crowded wide receivers, in my opinion. And then your your tight ends, Isaiah Likely, Noah Fant, Jatavion Sanders, 3 tight ends that probably not going to give you a very high ceiling whatsoever and really not even a safe floor. So that could be a little bit lower. Do you want me to grade or do you want to go over it yourself?
Grade, please.
I'm gonna go C. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna go C. I just think the quarterback is amazing. Running back room is amazing. Other than that, I'm not liking his wide receivers or his tight ends. I don't think he scores much.
So I will say, because like instead of just like I actually have a moment to now look and assess as opposed to like do it on the fly.
Yeah.
And at first glance, I might have been with you, but you look at it this way, right? His roster is gonna have 2 top quarterbacks no matter what. I don't count Geno. Don't like the Geno pick. I'm very high on Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to have
Me too.
a great year. Lamar Jackson, love Lamar Jackson. I worry about his durability, but we all know as a ceiling play, he's absolutely spectacular, right? So if I look at his roster construction and his start, we know that he's banking, and rightfully so, that his running backs are going to fill two running back slots, and they're both going to be really good in the running back slot, and his flex is going to be filled. I think Zay Flowers has a very high ceiling, but his floor is also very safe. Calvin Ridley, so, but I think he can get, with all these high ceiling plays at the wide receiver position, I can see a path where these spike week freaks can get there. Now, is it the best work I've seen him do at the wide receiver position? No, but I see how he can get there. Mm-hmm. So for that, I'm going to give him a B minus, because there is correlation. He didn't reach. I see what he's trying to build there. I definitely don't think you needed James Cook in this build. I don't think you needed James Cook in this build, but he was probably best available, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I agree with your assessment. But there is a path where it can be very successful. There is a pathway, and that's why you run the risk of drafting two RBs early on, where you go bully RB to start. We got to catch up here. Wife says too much information on me saying I take Deuce is bigger than Deuce. Not enough information. Adrian says Zeke's gonna have an oxygen mask in the Salvation Army pod. He's watched. Adrian, I missed you. I love you, brother. Great, spectacular assessment. Take of the night. Hot Take City says Trevor on the downhill. That is a very hot take, and I don't know if you're just saying that because you want to upset me, but I disagree respectfully, sir. Definitely going to get spike weeks in those wide receivers. I agree. I think those wide receivers are balanced. Sleazeball Fantasy Football says, Quasi, what's your X? I think it's Uptown something. I've tagged him a couple times. If he doesn't respond here, I'll send it to you because speaking of Quasi, aka the 2-time, he goes 3-7-8-2. So right away, very unique roster construction. Quarterback situation, he's got Jared Goff, JJ McCarthy, Justin. I always feel weird grading Quasi because like he's just the fucking best. He's absolutely remarkable. Sleaze, it's Uptown, Waterloo 1. Make sure you guys give this guy a follow.
Man meat.
I have man meat for my draft.
Hashtag man meat. That should have been
that's the next giveaway. That's tomorrow night's giveaway. 100%. 3-7-8-2. Somebody clip the man meat stuff, please. Jared Goff, JJ McCarthy, Justin Fields. Okay. So we did mention that Russell Wilson was, kind of getting pushed and people are drafting Justin Fields a little bit earlier. I did that big breakdown on George Pickens, and I looked at, all the advanced stats like air yards, who's more accurate. If we want George Pickens to be absolutely spectacular this year and go to the moon, Russell Wilson's his best bet. I think people like Justin Fields more than Russell Wilson because he's a little bit more attractive in the rushing upside. Yep. But back to the 2 times man meat lineup. Pacheco, love Pacheco. Jonathan Brooks, Chase Brown, love Brown. Kendre Miller, Jaleel McLaughlin, also love Elijah Mitchell, Dylan Loeb. Wide receivers, my guy, no matter what. Jamar Chase, no matter what. Jalen Waddle, DK Metcalf, Jordan Addison, Jameson Williams, Adam Thielen, Luke McCaffrey, Calvin Austin, 2 tight end build. He goes Dalton Kincaid, Jake Ferguson. Take us through. Let us know what you know. And I love how you are, really going through these lineups and giving some really, really good assessment here. So keep it up, man.
So the quarterback's going to be a situation. Obviously, Quasi believes that JJ McCarthy is going to get the job from Sam Darnold before week 5, because if he doesn't with Jared Goff week 5, Justin Fields won't be on the field at week 5. He may not have JJ McCarthy, so he could be missing out an entire week in this situation on points at the quarterback position if JJ McCarthy doesn't take the field over. I think he should, but will they do that with Sam Darnold? I don't know. I hope he does.
He just said, I had other plans at QB, but I pushed and got sniped. Shrug, still got correlation at least.
No, yeah. Yeah, did you have – you got Jordan Addison with him as well. That's my only concern with this lineup is that will you miss out an entire week at quarterback points at week 5 if J.J. McCarthy isn't on? Do you think he takes the quarterback position by week 5?
I think he should take it by like the end of preseason week 1. I think
he should. For sure he should.
If he is who they drafted and who they thought he was, he should take it right away. But I know Sam Darnold's very familiar with that offensive scheme and how they run that concept because of the coaching tree that he's been around. But like we know what Darnold is, right? JJ McCarthy, that's the guy you drafted. That's the guy we want to see. You just paid JJ a lot of money. You gotta play him. Anyways, please carry on. Sorry for
No, you're good. Yeah, running back position, Isaiah Pacheco, I'm huge on him. He's starting to get 20-plus carries a game, and you're starting to see that them actually save Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes more for the NFL playoffs, which is great for the fantasy football world because now we get to see a lot of more 18 to 20 carries a game in Isaiah Pacheco, and he's starting to get involved into the passing game. No other running backs really to be scared about. Jonathan Brooks, I like him. He was my number 1 running back by far until he got hurt at the very end of last season for the University of Texas. Great vision, great running ability. I think he's going to be phenomenal. I don't think Chuba Hubbard's going to really be much of a factor unless we see a lingering injury from Jonathan Brooks. It should be really good. Chase Brown, we're going to agree to disagree on this. I just don't like what he brings. Yes, he had some splash plays. When given the opportunity, he was really, really good. I just don't know if they're going to give him that opportunity. That's what scares me off with Chase Brown. Kendrick Miller, again, loaded backfield. What are they going to do? He looked really good towards the end of last year. Had a really good last game of the season against the Falcons, showing what he can do. But as long as Alvin Kamara, obviously he's taken a step back, averaged 3.6 yards per carry last season. So we see he's not in that 4 yards per carry. But
it's PPR.
It is PPR, which is what I was going to say is he's more of that pass catching back. So I love that. And I think Jamal Williams, he might be a little bit cut out. So I don't know if he's going to be phased out and you're going to see more of Kendre Miller. Jaleel McLaughlin, I love him. I actually just traded him away in my Dynasty League, but I love his running ability. I just don't think the coaching staff is going to give him, especially drafting Audrey Estime. Why would you draft Audrey Estime unless you don't like Javonte Williams? We'll see how that goes. But I do like Jaleel McLaughlin. Elijah Mitchell, he was great when he was a couple week wonder guy, right? So is he going to get the opportunity? Who knows? And Dylan Laube, a great pass catcher out of University of Northern Iowa. He was a great guy out there. I just think he's buried on a depth chart at this point. I obviously have Zeus and Madison above Laube. So will he give you some patch catching work? Maybe.
I think we might see Laube. Is that how you pronounce it?
Laube.
I call it Lobe, like earlobe.
That's
Dylan Laube.
Yeah,
I'm
he can't hear you.
Yeah, I see what you did there. I love dad jokes. I think the only way we're going to see much from him in general is in the return game. I see good return upside from him, and with these new return rules, you have to consider that when building your lineups because that could be a benefactor on somebody who because we're going to see somebody break Devin Hester's record. We're going to see it, and we're going to see it the first year with these new rules. So that's going to apply
Lobby
to.
was the best pass catching back in the entire draft. So I mean, if you pass it to him, he's going to catch it. He had like a
Yeah.
98%
And
pass percentage.
he's been taking reps as a punt returner and kick returner
Yep.
in camp. So I am paying attention to him. I have 0 shares thus far, but if I want to start, drafting based off of return upside, he's one of those guys that you got to consider. But then again, am I considering Cordell Patterson? Probably not. So carry on, please.
Yep. Wide receiver room, I actually love this wide receiver. I mean, Jamar Chase, the dude's going to be a boom type of player. And I know we were off and on like, okay, T. Higgins has a game, Jamar Chase going to have it. They're done with T. Higgins. I think he's going to have a minimal amount. And again, I think he's going to miss a lot of games because every time he sprains his finger, he's going to be gone. Jamar Chase should have a phenomenal season. Jalen Waddle, love his opportunity, especially if, God forbid, Tyreek Hill misses a couple games. You're going to see Jalen Waddle be the guy. He's got a lot of those spike weeks, right? And I'm not scared of Odell Beckham taking his job or anything like that, taking receptions away. Jalen Waddle just got a nice big old contract. Phenomenal wide receiver. Love that guy. DK Metcalf, we talked about him earlier, splitting those receptions with JSN and Lockett as well. He's going to get his guy. He is the number one alpha dog in this offense, even though everybody eats. Love that. Jordan Addison, what's going to happen in this offense, right? Is it all going to be Justin Jefferson? There's no more Kirk Cousins. He's probably going to decrease a little bit. I think in my projections, I had him a little bit less than what he had last year because when Kirk Cousins got injured, you didn't really see Jordan Addison kind of blow up in any of those games. Jamison Williams, he should be really good. He's one of those boom guys as well. He can give you those big type of plays. I like that in best ball. Adam Thielen, I don't know. He's an old cockadoodle, kind of crusty turd. Luke McCaffrey, I wasn't really excited about Luke McCaffrey. He didn't really do anything in college. The tape that I watched is going to be like, whoa, Luke McCaffrey's the guy. I don't care what his brother is. Not crazy on him.
You think that's a namesake pick?
What's that?
You think that's a namesake pick?
It is 100%. It is. He wasn't able to. This is in my analysis. And I think I did some of this in my rookie videos that I did. When you watch him play in his film, he was unable to separate from people in college. And if you can't separate from the defenders in college, you dang sure ain't gonna separate from the defenders in the pros. And that was my biggest con on Luke McCaffrey is that his route running wasn't polished enough to have any type of separation, and he doesn't have that flat end speed. So that's just for me. And then Calvin Austin, he's more of a trick guy at this point. So, and then Dalton Kincaid and Ferguson. Obviously, we know Kincaid's going to be the number one option for this offense until Keon Coleman can get into his thing. And Jake Ferguson is more of a touchdown dependent tight end, but again, one of the top tight ends for me. So, if I had to put a grade, I'm definitely putting a B for him, Quasi, and it would have been higher than that. But I'm not sure about the quarterback situation, and I think losing that many points at Week 5, if JJ McCarthy is not playing, could be could be detrimental.
Fair assessment. Absolutely fair assessment. You said one thing because like there's a lot of things that like I agree with you with, and a lot of things we disagree. You said one thing that kind of like took me aback. You said Dalton Kincaid is the clear number one option on this offense.
Yep. Who do you think's the number one?
I'm gonna have to say there is no clear number one. I really think that like it's gonna be a game by game basis. Whoever plays the matchup better. I don't think there's a true alpha there. I really don't. Like you might as well take shots on guys like Mac Hollins and Chase Claypool in round 20 because they have as good a chance as the Curtis Samuels. I like Curtis Samuel out of that entire group because he gives you the safest floor. If I'm talking about biggest ceiling, I like my guy Khalil Shakir. Keon Coleman, I like him in general. I just like I need to see more from him, and by the time I see more from him, it's probably going to be too late, right? Because I do think he's a spectacular player and a very, very good athlete, and I do like his jump ball ability, his one-on-one jump ball abilities.
Yeah,
like he's up there as one of the better ones from this rookie draft. But yeah, Dalton Kincaid, I would temper my expectations with him personally because Dawson Knox is still in the mix as well.
You're right. Yeah, and Dawson Knox, he's a touchdown hog, so.
Yeah, Dawson Knox is still in the mix. So if Dalton Kincaid's going to get there, it's going to have to be off of volume and volume alone. And I haven't seen him do anything. I really haven't seen him do anything in the pros yet. He has not. But I respect your assessment for sure. For sure.
I mean, and my number one wide receiver is easily Curtis Samuel. Got to remember Joe Brady. He followed Joe Brady. Last time he was at Joe Brady is 2020 with the Carolina Panthers. Ended up with about 856 yards receiving and 200 yards rushing, which landed him around 23rd in PPR overall points for fantasy football. I think he's going to get his juice.
Yep. All right. So we got a question here. I like this question.
Yeah.
Hot Take City says Brooks or Hubbard will be. He's asking who's going to be the RB1 in Carolina. Is it going to be Brooks or Hubbard?
Oh, it's Brooks. It's not even close. Brooks
Yeah.
is way better of a running back.
I'm one of those guys who thinks it's going to be Miles Sanders. I really still I know. I'm one of those guys who thinks it's going to be Miles Sanders. I'm still there. I'm still there. I would much rather Miles Sanders in round 20 with potential RB1 upside than an injured Jonathan Brooks in best ball format, or Chuba, who we know what his floor is. He's not really a ceiling play. I think Miles Sanders plays better when you're putting your helmet on.
I can play better than Miles Sanders. I'm coming in here, right? Let's do it. Oh yeah, we might as well go ahead and lace up because I think me and you have a better chance than Miles Sanders, bro.
All right. Are we just finishing the stream? I really
Bro,
do.
that's what we're doing.
Is that a custom helmet?
Yeah, it's custom.
Oh, that's fucking gangster. See these little skulls right here? This is for people I delivered to God.
There you go.
That was fun. All right, let's catch up with the chat. Jerry Backshaw says, with the new OC in town for New Orleans, it will be interesting to see if Kamara and Olave will see even more targets. They should. They didn't really do much except for adding Cedric Wilson and a really, really good right tackle in Fuaga. So I'm all in on those guys. And I think Spencer Rattler is better for both of them than Derek Carr, but that's neither here nor there. Say it louder for the ones in the back. I see what you did there, Tyler. I see what you did there. Adrian Fidesz says, Kamara scares me. They taught him how to run properly at like 28, and he's been slow as frick ever since. Honestly, exact same issue as Watson in Green Bay has. Apparently, they put more weights on one leg. Interesting. Okay, we'll check that out. Tweet out for the boys from Sleazeball, and he says Miles Sanders' playing days are done. All right. Hopefully he pays off for me. I'm gonna bet on that. Two Fat Guys Fantasy Football says LMC is still developing as a wide receiver. I like LMC simply because I see him, and it's not just the white guy thing. I see a lot of Edelman aspects. The whole quarterback, shifty white guy who's not going to kill you with speed. He's not going to kill you, but he's going to do what it takes to get it done. That's why I like him, especially against his zone defense. I think he's shiftier than fast, and I like the shifty guys, especially in the slot. So I'm not going to write him off. I like him a lot. I think he's going to become a craftsman at the position because we know how the McCaffreys work, right? Their father was a worker, Christian's a worker, and like you got to earn your keep, especially there. Quasi says fair grade. Coleman will emerge as a clear one by week 5. Maybe. Says Hot Take City. Miles Sanders playing days are done. We went down with Miles Sanders. Get that garbage out of here! No way, man. My wife says, "Oh my God." Willie's laughing. Two Fat Guy says, I think Rattler is still a year away. Probably. Yeah. I don't know, man. Carr on big hot seat. They won't be very competitive. I could see Rattler by week 9, 10. Yeah. I mean, like, Carr also goes down quite frequently, but this is also your team, right? Do we have any other disco balls to go over? We got your draft and my draft. All right. So do you want to look at mine first? Let's look at yours first. Okay. And then we'll look at mine because it's my fucking show. And then we'll call it. So you go 3, 5, 10, 2. You go Anthony Richardson, Derek Carr, Daniel Jones. Everybody you got at right around ADP, and you got Daniel Jones at an absolute steal. You got him almost 30. You got him 29 picks past ADP. So I think that's an absolute steal there. Travis Etienne, Kenneth Walker, Devin Singletary, Marshawn Lloyd, Chuba. Okay. Justin Jefferson, Mike Evans, Michael Pittman, Curtis Samuel, Rashid Shaheed, Adonai Mitchell, Javon Baker, Zay Jones, A.T. Perry, Odell Beckham Jr. Tight end, you go Evan Ingram, Pat Freiermuth. Take me through your draft.
Yeah, so at the quarterback position, Anthony Richardson. I have him right now. If you guys, I just released my rankings videos. He is my number 2 quarterback in fantasy football right now. I have Lamar Jackson number 1, Anthony Richardson number 2. He started for 4 games. 2 of those 4 games, he ended up as quarterback 2 and quarterback 4. The dude is phenomenal. He's put up a crazy amount of points. I don't know. I think he is just a stud. I want to get him in every draft that I possibly can. Derek Carr, he's a quarterback. I know a lot of people, he's not going to stun you with his numbers, but they did fix the offensive line right? So I think he's going to have some more time to throw the football. I love Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, A.T. Perry. I love these guys. I think the opportunity is there to score a ton of points. I think Derek Carr is going to be the catalyst for that. Daniel Jones, super high on him, right? They got a lot of things working. Malik Neighbors, super high on him out of LSU, did really, really well. And who knows who's on the other side, right? You got a little Wando Robinson, Jalen Hyatt. Who knows who's going to be the other really go-to type of guy. They have, I think, Slayton is the number 2 right now, but who knows if that's going to finish. And then they got, now it's going to be either Theo Johnson or Daniel Bellinger now that Darren Waller retired.
It's Theo Johnson, man. It's Theo Johnson. It's Theo for sure.
Theo's taking for sure. Daniel Bellinger can't do nothing, man.
Yeah, we know what he is. He can block.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, but Daniel Jones, just a couple years ago, he was doing really well. So I think he put up some points.
Yeah, and I mean, look at it this way. I think Daniel Bellinger suffers from the Durham Smythe situation where they're just really elite blockers and they should continue to be blockers.
Yep.
Theo Johnson was drafted as essentially his greatest draft comparison, and his player comp at the position was Darren Waller. You don't bring in a Darren Waller to New York without expecting to use a Darren Waller. Now, obviously, they didn't get to use Darren Waller. Dable wanted Darren Waller, but he got the next best thing, which is his biggest comparison in the draft, who was the most athletic tight end in the draft as well. So I'm really high on Theo Johnson at current ADP.
No, I'm right there with you. But so we'll go to the running backs, right? I'm not extremely excited about my running backs. You mentioned at the beginning of the draft, I'm a running back heavy guy. I like to get my guys, and I didn't do that in this draft. I wanted to see how it played out doing wide receivers first because, it is what it is. But I think I'm going to get my running backs next time. It is what it is. Travis Etienne, Kenneth Walker, Devin Singletary. I do like Devin Singletary. Again, I do like Tyron Tracy, but I think it'll be Devin Singletary's main. He's going to be the main guy there. Marshawn Lloyd, I believe he's going to be the starter by midseason. And Chuba Hubbard, I'm kind of making the bank on. If Jonathan Taylor isn't healthy enough and Chuba gives the reins, I think getting him at, what did I get him at 164? I think that's great for a value for a running back. If he's the starter, could give you crazy numbers. So I do like my running backs in that situation.
You know what's a better value? You know what's a better value than 169 ADP?
What's that?
Undrafted free.
Who would have went free?
Miles Sanders is undrafted and free.
Oh, get out of here, bro. Ain't nobody want to talk about that.
All right, Kerry.
Man, that's some stinky cheese, man.
Man, I'm gonna die on that hill alone, probably.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be lonely as hell too.
Yeah,
so we're looking at the wide receiver position. We just gonna move on from that. Wide receivers. I'm extremely excited about what I got at the wide receiver position. Now, on retrospect, I wish I wouldn't have drafted Odell and just grabbed Alexander Madison just to have another running back in the mix. I would have rather that, but to the moon. Yeah, right. Justin Jefferson, Mike Evans, Michael Pittman, Curtis Samuel, Rashid Shaheed, Adonai Mitchell, 6 wide receivers that I'm really, really high on. Javon Baker. I think he's going to be the number 1 wide receiver for the Patriots. Going to take over Jalen Polk and all the other cockadoodle that you were mentioning earlier at the wide receiver position over there. I just think it's going to be Javon Baker's show. People don't realize how good this guy is. Zay Jones, he's going to be the slot wide receiver. We saw what he did at the slot over there with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Can Kyler Murray do the same thing? We'll see what happens. A.T. Perry is super high on this guy. He didn't get the opportunity to play last season, most likely because Michael Thomas and this and that, but he's going to be the man. He's clearly the 3rd wide receiver, a big body, 6'4" type of wide receiver out of Wake Forest. He's got the hands. He can get up there. He can high point the football very, very well. I'm excited about him. And then Odell Beckham, he was just kind of a throw in at the wide receiver position. And then tight ends, Evan Ingram, love him. He's probably has the highest target share of any tight end in football right now as far as being involved in the entire offense. He gets a lot of opportunities. I like that about Evan Ingram. And then Pat Freiermuth, what we don't remember is Pat Freiermuth just a couple seasons ago was a top 7 tight end, right? He can give you the potential of getting to top 5, top 8 type of tight end seasons. He had a down season last season and still ended it as a top tight end. So I'm kind of high on Pat Freiermuth, especially after coming with Russell Wilson. You got Arthur Smith that came over. Arthur Smith's been in the NFL for 5 years. And in all 5 years, at least 25% of the target share of the entire offense has went to the tight end position. So that very much boosts up Pat Freiermuth to have a comeback season this year. So I do like the opportunity with that. And of course, with mine, I would probably give mine a humble A+.
Okay. Very humble. Super humble. So my question with Pat Freiermuth is, when's the last time Russell Wilson had a good tight end in fantasy football?
That was when he played in college, the University of Wisconsin. I mean, that was no, I don't know. It wasn't. He wasn't. He doesn't utilize the tight end position. But if the scheme for Arthur Smith tells him, "Hey, throw to the tight end position," you never know what you got.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yep. The way I look at it, Justin Fields is better for Pat Fryermuth's upside. So if you're telling yourself Justin Fields is going to play, then that Pat Fryermuth stack is great. Obviously, George Pickens is going to take a hit, but George Pickens is still going to be phenomenal. But if we want like wide receiver top 10 production from George Pickens, Russell Wilson's the way to go. So I think Justin Fields is good for everybody in that offense. Just as high as I am on George Pickens, I would prefer it to be Russ. I don't care if the Steelers do well or not. Sleazeball's laughing. Sleazeball says, "Are you hearing the bangle on Javon Baker disco?" I am, and he says Javon Baker equals Timothy. Listen. It's my team. Okay, it's my team. It's my team. You know what, guys? I create fantasy football content, and I know football, and I know my team. And no, I'm kidding. Imagine that was my argument. If I'm looking at Drake May and where Drake May is absolutely talented, he has a big, strong arm. If we're talking about touch throws, not so much. So if we're looking at the offense, where Drake May would be really good is in those deep bombs down the middle. Who's going to be wide open with what should be a 4.2 speed, but he got gypped at the combine. If you guys don't believe me, look at the short on Demario Douglas was robbed from a 4.2. Yeah, Demario Douglas was robbed from a 4.2. He's quick and he's shifty and he's absolutely spectacular. If I'm talking about ceiling play in best ball format, I am all over Demario Douglas because that division plays a lot of man defense, right? Now, obviously, the number one corners that frighten me are Jalen Ramsey, who could and should travel with Javon Baker, and they play a lot of man defense over there. And then you also have Sauce Gardner. Now, he doesn't travel as much, but Sauce Gardner would be defending Javon Baker should Javon Baker be around him, right? Demario Douglas is going to be playing one-on-one with slower safeties, especially to the field side of or the strong side of the field. We call it the field. There's field and there's the weak, so our boundary. So if we're talking about the slot being wide open, going against one of the slower safeties, or even nickels on the field side, just based off of matchup and ability, I'm higher on Demario Douglas with Drake May. Now, should it be Jacoby Brissett? Yes, Javon Baker to the moon. But if we're thinking Drake May, he's got to take over like week 3, 4, maybe even week 1. I'm all in on Demario Douglas. All right.
Well, can I say one thing about that?
100%.
The biggest reason why I'm more probably on Javon Baker is a lot of people may not realize that Drake May and Javon Baker were actually recruited to the University of Alabama together. So they are actually friends, and they were there at the University of Alabama before Drake May ended up going to UNC. Baker played for Alabama for a couple years, and he ended up going to UCF. So they kind of already know each other. So that connection, I think, is pretty strong.
Fair. Hot Take City says I'm high on Douglas. Sleaze Ball Fantasy Football says Baker will eat up Sauce. I don't think anybody can eat up Sauce.
No,
that is,
bro, you crazy, dude.
That is disrespectful. And they see that.
Yeah, crazy, bro.
Yeah. Okay. Let's look at my draft, and then we'll announce the winner of our giveaway. And thank you for staying on so long.
Dude, I'm here for you, man.
I appreciate that because this is longer than we typically go. But I'm enjoying the banter, the back and forth. I love picking your mind. I love when people know that they know their shit. And not only do they know that they know their shit, they defend their takes with actual stats and correlations. So this is why your word is bond, and why I absolutely respect what you have to say. Even though we disagree a lot, it doesn't mean I don't respect what's coming out of your mouth, because it's well researched. It's got good intention, and I respect the hell out of you. And
yes, sir.
Very, very impressed by you. And if you guys are not subscribed to this man, what the fuck are you doing with your life? Seriously, this guy is absolutely brilliant, and like we should put W's in the chat right now for Bayou Bengal and what he did today, because this guy is absolutely brilliant. Put W, please spam W's in the chat, guys. Capital W's in the chat for Bayou Bengal if you guys enjoyed tonight's show. 3-6-8-3 is the build I go with. I go Jalen Hurts, Brock Purdy, Gardner Minshew. Running back, I got gifted CMC at the 102, even though his ADP is 1.4. Crazy, which means he's just the first overall pick. We go CMC, Rachaad White, Najee Harris, Damian Pierce, Tyrone Tracy, Isaac Garendo. So we got a little double stack with CMC and Garendo in case the Madden cover, stuff is real. We got a lot of W's in the chat, man. We got. Oh, you even gave yourself a W. Let's go. Keep them coming, fellas. Keep them coming. Definitely a W. Big fan. Didn't need the third QB. I don't think I needed the third QB either. I'll be honest. Debo Samuel, Devontae Smith, Hollywood Brown, Khalil Shakir, Jacoby Myers, Darnell Mooney, Marvin Mims, Tyler Boyd, tight end Cole Kmet. George Kittle. We got the thumbnail correlation. I love when that works out. Cole Kmet, Hunter Henry.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I was hoping I was not gonna like your team just because I'm on your show, but man, I like your team, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Quarterback position looks really, really good. Jalen Hurts obviously gonna do his thing, even though I think he's gonna take a step back. I have him as my number 3 quarterback. Brock Purdy's gonna do his thing. Gardner Minshew, you didn't need him, but why not? Who else was available that's gonna give you any type of points at that position? Probably nobody. Like I said, like you said, you got gifted with Christian McCaffrey. Right, Rachaad White, he's got a nice safe floor, right? We're going to see with Bucky Irving take some more pressure off of that, but overall, he's going to get all the carries. Najee Harris, in a contract year, lost a lot of weight, so he should be out there coming with fire. Damian Pierce, it's already said, D'Amico Ryans came out and said, he is going to be a big part of this offense. Devin Singletary is now gone, and if, God forbid, something happens to Joe Mixon, there is nobody else in that backfield. You never know. In a best ball league, that could be great. That could help you out quite a bit. Tyrone Tracy, somebody he's hard to bring down. I love it. God forbid, again, if something happens to Devin Singletary, I don't think he's going to split too much, maybe 10, 15% of the snaps, not too bad. And Isaac Garendo, you already know. San Francisco, you already have the correlation there. You might as well take this freak athlete. Wide receivers, love your wide receivers, man. Debo Samuel, Devonta Smith, Hollywood Brown, Khalil Shakir, Jacoby Myers, Darnell Mooney, Marvin Mims, which I'm not crazy about Mims, but Tyler Boyd, like him, he should easily take over that number 3 wide receiver role for the University of Tennessee. And your tight ends, absolutely phenomenal for best ball. George Kittle, Cole Kmet, Hunter Henry. Cole Kmet's already having good correlation there, or good chemistry with the quarterback that everybody thinks he's everything. I'm not high on Caleb Williams, but it is what it is. But overall, look, if I had to grade you, I mean, I'd give you an A. I love the team. This is something that I would love to put out on the field. So I love it, man.
I appreciate that. You know what's tough?
So
drafting with Disco Ball Nation, putting your hopes and dreams out there, knowing they're going to snipe you and still coming up with a good draft.
Boom.
So it's tough, but honestly, iron sharpens iron, and I love the fact that you guys make me better on a day-to-day basis. You definitely make me better as a content creator and as a friend. Your content's absolutely spectacular, and it makes me need to not just your content, but the way you deliver it, the edits, the fine tuning, the amount of care that you put into it. It makes me want to step my game up because you're somebody who I absolutely admire in the industry, and
appreciate that, man.
I really do respect you. And you got, like, everybody here respects the hell out of you and what you did tonight on the show, which is absolutely spectacular. Assessment, the thought behind it. Like, you guys need to go subscribe to this man right now. Quasi says I didn't need the third quarterback. Jerry Bagshaw says W. Adrian says W, except the Patriots receivers take. I agree. Adrian's just kidding. Arthur House says Tracy will be the main back by week 5. I mean, he's one of those guys where it's like, if he does it, he's going to be at a very delicious price, and if he doesn't do it, it's not going to hurt you too much, right? Hot Take City says you like Mims. I'll be completely honest. I like and hate all the wide receiver 2 options in Denver right now. Anybody could do it. Even Tim Patrick. They just brought in Josh Reynolds. They got Tim Patrick still. They got Mims. They just brought in Troy Franklin. It's a very crowded room. We don't know who's going to emerge, but I'm going to take my shots on the guys who I think has the highest ceiling in these best ball formats. And I was talking about the return upside. You're looking at 19 yards per reception. This guy is an absolute ceiling play. He just needs more opportunity. And Russell Wilson tends to favor one player only. So we'll see what Zach Wilson or what the new kid Bo Nix does. But if I want to take a gamble on any of them, it's going to be Marvin Mims, or it's going to be Troy Franklin, or not Troy Franklin. Troy Franklin. I love Troy Franklin.
I like Troy Franklin. So.
Yeah, it's going to be Marvin Mims, or it's going to be Tim Patrick in the 20th round, because if Tim Patrick's healthy, we know what he can do. But big if on that. Bayou Baller. Tracy will be a nice feature to the Giants, especially with the dump offs from DJ. Absolutely. And I think DJ is going to be really good for where he's going in ADP. Currently, his ADP is very disrespectful, and I think you got him 29 picks past ADP, which is sick. Jerry Bagshaw says, is Eckler really going to be returning kicks? I have not heard anything there. I think if they're smart, they need to protect the money they just invested in that running back, even though they didn't put a lot of guaranteed money into him. Tyler says, Bayou may sound like he knows what he's doing, but I beat him all the time in fantasy. Well, I mean, that's where the luck stuff comes in.
Didn't I kick you out of the playoffs last season in the league? I'm just
speaking of luck stuff coming in, the winner of tonight's giveaway is this guy, Tyler. So you said this is your guy?
Yeah, this is my mod, and he's actually one of the analysts on my show sometimes. So he actually comes on and talks football with me all the time. So yeah,
sweet. So we'll connect me with Ty. Ty, if you're not following me on Twitter, it's Big Drafters HQ, and fix your life, man. You got to follow me. I'm great. I'm kidding. So give me a follow. Hit me up in the DMs, and I'll coach you up on how to redeem your ticket. Unfortunately, Patrick's made of glass says bad guys official. Absolutely, 100%. Sleazeball Fantasy Football says word out of campus. Tim Patrick looks electric till he gets zapped back to the IR. I hope he doesn't. But like with the 20th round pick, like what's it hurt, right? We got a bunch of W's. Congrats once again, Tyler, on winning the giveaway. We're gonna play our outro, and then actually before we play our outro, because I think it would be absolutely rude to play our outro right now. Why don't you tell folks once again where they can find you? You know what you're putting out, what you have in the works. You know, just tell everybody where they can find you.
If you guys are on Twitter, on X, you can find me at Bayou Bingo FN. I'm over there. I post everything that I do, so you guys can stay up to date if you guys want to on what I'm doing. I'm mainly on YouTube, so you can find me at Bayou Bingo Fantasy Network or youtube.com/@ Bayou Bingo FN. You can definitely find me over there. We do a lot of things on the channel, right? I do a little plethora, whether you like Dynasty, whether you like redraft, whether you like the rankings. I do a lot of rookie type evaluations to get you ready for your Dynasty leagues if you want that. And then we do a lot of best ball as well. More underdog, but I'm starting to get to drafters now that we've got some of the Disco Nation over here, right? Big Disco Energy over here, right? He's helping me get into the drafter. So I'm enjoying it right now. I'm enjoying the platform, what we're doing over there. But if you guys want to hit me up, you guys can hit me up on either X or Twitter at Bayou Bingo FN, or just go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Bayou Bingo Fantasy Network. And we're pumping out videos 3, 4, 5 times a week, while on top of that doing multiple live streams as well. So that's where you'll find me at, though. But I appreciate you having me on, man. I really do appreciate it. It was fun. It was like an hour and a half or so, something like that. And it was
man. Yeah, man. And everybody had a good time.
Yeah.
We'll play the outro, then we'll say bye, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. But I just gotta find my there it is. All right, here goes that. I saw you dancing there, buddy.
I was jamming, dude. I was jamming.
All right. Folks, thank you guys. I say this all the time, and I'll say it again. And I'll actually leave you guys with something else, just a little bit over the top. If you have, something that you want to go for, it doesn't matter if it's a monetary goal or if it's just a silly goal like becoming a fantasy football content creator. Don't let anybody gatekeep this shit from you. Do not let anybody gatekeep this shit from you. You guys go get it. You go get it, because there are people who are there to support you, and there are people who are there to be there for you through every step of the way, right? So I want to shout out my wife. Baby, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for supporting me when we had 0 followers, 0 subscribers, 0 watchtowers. Actually, it was never 0 watchtowers or 0 or people watching, because you were always subscribed and you were always watched. So thank you, baby, for supporting me from day one. This is all for you. We haven't come this far to only come this far. Let's keep fucking going. I appreciate you, babe. We'll see you guys same time, same place tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Until next time, peace.